Taxi dog. Taxi dog. Taxi dog. Taxi dog.
Hello and welcome to Taxi Talk. I'm David Hunter and this is...
It's Jodie.
It's Jodie.
Yeah.
Jodie.
Renee.
Renee.
And it's Paul.
And it's Paul. Right, we're sharing one mic, I believe. So do we have a second? Oh, there we go. Renee was sitting on it, keeping it warm. So it's nice and moist now, ready for you. So we're going to... With my guest today, we thought we'd have a discussion on where we see the future of the taxi trade. So we do have some questions which we're going to ask to Paul as a tech provider, and also as an operator. Renee as a tech provider as well, and Jodie in this case as an operator. So we'll go through those questions, and again, if you've got any questions you'd like to answer, just get Ash to come and take those questions from you. So the first question I'd like to ask to Paul this morning is, how do traditional taxi operators and private hire companies survive and thrive in the age of AI and automation?
I don't really use AI. We don't have any intelligence in our office. It's wonderful. I mean, that's not... what's the point of having artificial intelligence if you haven't got the other? No, I think AI is going to do really wonders. We actually do use Flip to answer our phone calls because obviously we can't be asked. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful. No, it's wonderful. The Flip guys are wonderful. Customer phones up and I go to Asda. Yeah, of course you can, love. I don't do that. I don't answer the phone calls anymore. Flip does. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. So whilst Flip is taking the calls because you can't be asked, what are you doing with your time?
What time is this going out? Depends on which answer I give. No, I think as traditional operators, I've been around for 30 years. We are changing. We're trying to be nice. We're trying to be decent to our people, our customers, our drivers. And I think years ago people didn't realise that drivers were important and they don't look as property. And nowadays, of course, people know that drivers will go, no, sort of, I'm going where I want to go, and we have to keep them. So, ride hail, it's great, it's wonderful, but can you speak to somebody? No. Can you come to my office and chat to me, sit on my leg and tell me what's going on? Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Unless, of course, the unions are watching, but that never happens.
Well, I think I've had a full vision of your world there, Paul, and...
You're the one with the sofa, not me, love.
Renee, could you give your take on that, please?
I think that I'm going to be a little bit more serious.
Oh, you go for it.
I know, rude, sorry guys.
Read the room.
I think that autonomy and AI needs to not be seen as such a scary situation. There are so many elements of autonomy and AI that are already running behind the scenes in businesses, and it's about embracing that and actually having some team members and education within your operations so you can actually understand how you can make the most of those things that are already there ready for you. Even if we look at things like Netflix and it gives you the suggestions of what you want to watch next, these are things that have been within our life cycles and what we're using every day without us necessarily understanding that it is AI and predictive situations. And if we actually look at that and say, hold on, how can we utilise that data that is already there and that you've already got a hand on and actually implement that within our businesses to actually drive us forward a little bit? And it only has to be one very small element to make a massive impact.
And Jodie, your take?
What she said.
Good answer. Good answer. To keep Jodie awake, I'm just going to have one more question on a serious basis, and then we're going to have a few games. So, second question, as you're holding the microphone there, Renee, what's the biggest challenge currently facing the UK taxi industry, do you think?
Just the one?
Yeah, the biggest one, the massive big.
I think something that gets said a lot is that we need collaboration. But I think that needs to be really defined, because there is still a fear of collaboration between companies and between operators, and lots of people have different elements of what good looks like, and you're always very worried that somebody else's idea of good isn't your idea of good. And I think that yes, collaboration is key, but there has to be some standardisation of that, and there has to be an element of like a grading system, or things that people feel confident enough to actually work with one another, because there is some standardisation of practices and processes and compliance. And then that can really help in taking away some of the fear of that, because there is a regulatory situation that people can adhere to make sure you're passing that work to companies that are going to live up to the standards that you expect within your organisation. So collaboration is key, but I do think there needs to be conditions around that.
Absolutely. Paul, your take?
I think you're quite right. Lots of companies have different ideas of what are nice cars, what are exec cars, what is the great customer service, what isn't great customer service, what's too much, what is too little. And you're right, we can talk to firms, but then we need to know that these firms are really sort of working on our same levels. We all have our own ideas of what's great. Collaboration is really key. I think if we don't start talking to each other, then we're going to have nobody to talk to, and then in 10 years' time, the people that we could have talked to are now not there at all. They're not running. So you either do it now, or you might not have the opportunity to do it in 10 years' time, and that'd be a shame, because there are lots of people that have gone down by the wayside. Firms that are no longer up, even dispatch systems that are no longer going. I mean, I started with a reader, they're no longer going. I mean, these people are going. So talk, converse, talk about what you're doing.
That's a great answer, Paul. Right, now we're going to have a little game. It's called the Wheel of Misfortune. So to the right of Jodie, you can see a wheel that we have to spin with a number of challenges on there, which I think there's been a mistake, isn't there? They're all the same. It just says donut. What could that mean? Well, in my hat here are a list of names of everybody in this room. Okay, so if your name gets picked out of the hat, come along and play the Wheel of Misfortune. So, I'm going to ask Steve Wright, because he is a legend. Jodie, if you just go and ask him to pick a name out of the hat there.
I thought you were just picking donuts, Dave.
Yeah, it's a great excuse to eat donuts, but there is a catch to this. So who have we got in there, Jodie? Could you just shout it out?
Oh,
This is Jodie's phone number.
We've all got that.
What did it say, Jodie? Reedy. I'll give a warm welcome to Reedy, who's working there for Hologram. Well done. Okay, so in between my legs, there's a large pile of donuts. There we go. Now, there's some chocolate ones, some pink ones with rather nice dressings. So you've got to reward yourself with a donut, but there is a catch. You and Jodie have got to lie on the floor and do 50 press-ups, okay? Or sit-ups. We're going with sit-ups. Once you've completed the 50 sit-ups, you can reward yourself with a nice donut.
I'm not getting a donut then, am I?
So Jodie, you're the fitness freak. Take the little boy in your hands.
come on.
And get him jumping up and down.
That's what I heard before.
Come on then.
Yeah, you take the donut.
Yeah,
Lay
take that.
down. Lay
Any
down,
glazed
really.
ones, David?
They're all glazed.
They can be
Not
glazed
the
up.
glazed ones, I know.
Right, we ready?
No.
Go.
Have we got any theme tune music?
1,
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, he's doing Bible wells, isn't he?
You say 5?
50. Is anyone actually counting this? I forgot to count.
8.
8.
Let's start again.
9. 10. A short time later. Go on, Reedy. Give Reedy some encouragement. Reedy. Come on, mate. You can do it.
Keep going.
Just think about the donut around your lips. Come on. Good. Jodie's going strong. Ash, give him a hand then.
Someone put the feet on my thing.
Get on with it.
Come on.
Go on.
quick
That
now.
quick, sped him up.
Come on.
Mate, I don't know how you're enticing
That's it, you
him
can do
to.
this.
Think about the end result.
Jodie, what are we up to now?
32.
32, not long now.
Oh, come on, this is good.
It's not bad.
And it's all
Breaking a
right.
sweat.
Oh, did you see the difference in fitness there? Jodie's
Yeah.
just like, it's just like she's taking a walk in the
What's
park.
that,
39.
39.
39, here we go.
Get a break, Renee.
Keep it going.
That will break, Renee.
Flip him over.
Go on, come on, come on. Think about the end result.
Come on.
Come on.
I can't believe really your incentive is actually cucumber.
I'm going to give it
50.
that. Come on, young man.
There's a donut.
Oh, thanks.
Well done, Reedy. Take a donut. Take all the donuts. Take all the
Yeah, go
donuts
on.
and give them out. Well done. Yeah, he earned his lunch there. So, right, back to our questions. How do independent operators compete with companies like Uber and other global platforms, Paul?
I think we always talk about competing and we're always trying to be like them. And I hate that because I think that we're not like them. You know, are we competing with Uber, Bolt and all the others? No, because we're doing something different. We're doing something totally different, and I think actually that, and I say don't want to knock your questions because you're a lovely chap in a very camp shirt. Is that out-camping me, but you know. But we're not competing. Why have we been worried about how are we competing? Why not say, actually, why are we here? Because we are better. You know, we're not a faceless corporation. We are gobby types on the sofa. So we're not competing. We are doing better and we are very different. We are personal. You know, on the end of the phone, we're not an app. We're not a, you know.
Yeah, it's worth remembering that most operators, still a large proportion of their bookings are coming in by telephone, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, this is sort of poor Ethel, who only has one outing a week, is still calling up, and operators know Ethel personally.
Yeah.
And when Ethel doesn't call, we know about it, and we worry about Ethel. An app or an algorithm doesn't worry about Ethel.
That's a fair point, isn't it? We know they phone up, and you know, as an operator, and also being on the road, I know that sometimes that person, that couple, won't see anybody else that week. They won't have spoken to anybody else. They know the name of the person they booked with. You know, they say if I'm on the bill working, then they'll say, "Oh, spoke to Collins today. He seems cheerful." That's the operator who's taken the job. You book on Uber and it's just like, oh, I booked an Uber, or I booked a Bolt, or, you know, there are other awful companies out there. But yeah, no, look, they talk to people. People are great, people are people, and that's why we're not competing. We're not offering the same service. Anybody can go A to B, but it's what happens between the initial call and what happens between A and B. And, you know, as local operators, we give our drivers more of the money, so our drivers are happier. So when they're picking up people, they're happier. We're not competing, we're just doing it better, but people haven't realised.
Yeah, much better service.
Yeah.
This is where, back to the first question, your data is so important. You need to have a handle on your numbers. You need to know how many people are booking by phone, what are their age demographics, what are they as a demographic of customer. You need to be able to predict the trends of your business, because you are going to need to evolve as an industry, and if you have a handle on what is actually happening in your business now, that's going to give you a better opportunity to actually look at where are these opportunities going forward. So yes, human-centric phone calls and customer service is really important, but what demographic are trying to book through your app? What is your drop-off rate of the app? Have you got that information that you can actually say, how are we going to target those people that we can't have right now already? Because it's going to evolve, it is evolving already, and you need to know the figures within your business, and you need to spend time actually analysing that data and getting it on paper and having the right people there to be able to help recognise the patterns and recognise what areas you need to actually work on to make sure you are not going to die out.
No, you can't. Yeah, all these things are fantastic. Jodie, do you have any?
Yeah, I think for me, as a local operator, I think it's important to have a presence in the community. So, you know, getting involved in local events, getting involved in key things within the community are really important. Something that Uber would never ever be able to do. So like us, for example, we do the carnival, and you know, so we have a household name, we're a brand in the town, and we're trusted. And I think that's important. And obviously when the community sees you giving back as well, you know, you're creating those links with your customers. And I think that's where we have the edge, I think, to be honest with you. And it also is staying power as well. You know, I'm hoping one day the Uber effect will die out and we'll still be around.
I think we're seeing it in some of the larger cities where the rejection rate of the jobs is quite high, and people don't trust Uber for those essential journeys to the airport, to the doctors, and they'll revert back to a local operator. So I think the days of Uber being this amazing app that is new and bright and sexy is gone. It's somewhat tarnished in some areas, I think. So, and drivers certainly aren't happy working on the platform. We know that. So, no, that's great stuff. Now, just going to take a little break there. So here, so I just want to give our guests some gifts. So we have our lost property box here, Paul. If you want to pull out my box there, I'll take a look inside.
I've always wanted to pull out your box, David.
I thought you might. There you go.
If it keeps me away from Ashley.
If there's nothing in there that you like, Paul, then Ashley's got a gift for you. So don't feel under pressure. So if you don't like anything, Ash will come up.
No, I like a horn.
You like a horn, okay?
Sorry, peaked too soon.
So Paul's got the horn.
Would you like
thing.
the phone?
No, you can keep your horn.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Would you like to squeeze it?
No, I don't want to squeeze you. No. Renee, would you
Put your hand in
something?
the
This is generally lost property. Literally, it's an amazing amount of lost property we get in some of the strangest items, but we bought them. Bloody hell.
Jesus.
Everyone duck, I think. I'm going to put that back.
I've not seen one of those in years, to be honest.
Did someone actually leave that in the taxi?
Absolutely, yeah. It must have been a great grandfather or
It's like a
something.
weapon.
Yeah, this is it.
Wow.
Wow, Jodie.
Are you choosing something? Or?
Oh.
Yeah, you got to
Take that home. Oh,
All right, here we go. Yeah, that suits.
that's you, isn't
No,
it?
that's me
It's
all
very
over.
good. Very good.
It's a blue Christmas.
Tinseltown.
Jodie, take something for your kids.
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
okay. What we got?
Do you know what? It's Cilla Black.
Surprise,
Surprise. Yeah, it's Tom Pugh's pig. He did come to the Taxi Talk studio last September and confessed to wearing a wig. We took the piss out of him, and then about a week later he'd lost the wig, hadn't he? Yeah, bless him. It was a fine wig as well. We did sort of water it and feed it whilst it was in our company. What I say, and a scarf.
Yeah, I love that.
That's great. So, Paul, next question. I'll start off here. So, Paul, it's a serious question here, aimed at you as a vicar and as a homosexual. So, this question is: how deep can you put a cucumber in your mouth? And Ash is going to help you with this.
Well, to be fair, we actually were practicing last night. It still looks as green as it was last night, actually.
Just relax.
You didn't say that last night.
No, keep it all.
Shall we go sideways?
No.
Go sideways.
Right, are you ready then? 3, 2, 1.
Well, that will do. That's bigger than yours, David.
A bit faster. Have you got Adina's blouse on?
I have, yeah.
R rating.
Did you stand on my horn?
Have it as a souvenir.
Have that.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Any gin?
Look, Ash, that was worth it just for the screenshot there. That's really done. Okay, moving on. We're going to wrap this up very shortly. So, question 4, Renee, do you believe collaboration and network between operators is now essential?
Did we just have that question?
It was kind of similar, wasn't it? So I'll move on. It was a bit like a David Lowry debate there.
I answered that.
Yeah.
Quite a minute ago.
Yeah. How difficult is driver recruitment and retention in today's market? And what do you think is the best strategy for an operator to retain drivers?
I'm going to actually pass that question over to Jodie because we're doing some onboarding with you guys, and she is a superstar at onboarding, recruiting, retaining drivers. So I want that to be answered by you.
I think that's a good call. You know what we should do is make Jodie the Director of National Recruitment and Retention. Should we do that for Take Me? Yeah?
Salary negotiation first before you say yes.
It's already been negotiated.
Yeah, last night. That's why I feel a bit fucked, to be honest. Been fucked over. But anyway, congratulations on your new role, Jodie.
And your pay rise.
Yeah, and your pay rise.
You heard it here first. Jodie starts that job next week. So Jodie, how do you answer that question?
I recruited 2 drivers last night, I'm not going to lie, for Milton Keynes. My Uber taxi to the iCabby do, and my Uber taxi from the iCabby do. I think, it's talking the driver's language. It's having an open door policy, knowing their behaviours, and just trying to stay one step ahead for the retention part of it. You have to have your ear to the ground at all times, and you have to understand what things, make them tick. And it is important. For recruitment, there's lots of different ways that we can recruit. Referral schemes are always a popular one. I always go to lots of different events, and it's word of mouth. So if you're there as like a one-stop shop and you're helping that person get their badge, it's kind of a given that they're then going to sign up and work for you. Offering that service from start to finish, which is what we're working on at the moment with the academy, and it kind of drives them in without them even realising it. Mm-hmm. They sign up automatically. So
yeah. Pre-COVID, I remember operators were sort of pushing automation on drivers. We don't want them in the office. We'd rather send them messages and not see them. I think after COVID, when obviously we lost a lot of drivers in the trade, or they didn't renew their badges, we suddenly realised that the driver is the customer as well. And now those relationships are our USP over somebody like Uber.
They are.
That's what...
I've always maintained an open door policy in my office, always. Sometimes it is a bit of a bugbear, I'm not going to lie, because you just get them dropping in constantly, but that's what gives me the edge over Uber. So, if they can ring me, they can pop in and see me. If they just want to vent, they can come and do that. And it is time consuming, but they are the customer. That is what our business is.
Absolutely. And you know what, Jodie? Yourself, Renee and Paul are more than just an algorithm. You're living, breathing flesh. Absolutely. And humans buy off humans, so
absolutely,
yeah.
I was going to add to that one. Can I just... I was having, come as some surprise, a little disagreement on Facebook, and I'm not known to be, forthright. But if we get internet from a company and the service is slow and it's bad, we change broadband providers, don't we? We instantly change broadband providers. In the taxi industry, though, it's really weird. They sit on Facebook in the social groups, they sit on WhatsApp, and they whinge and they complain. And they stay. And I said to a driver in one of our local groups, you are a customer. Now I believe my drivers are customers, and jolly nice chaps and chapesses, but they're customers and they're paying me for a service. And they're free to do whatever they want. They're free to pay somebody else for that service. But why are drivers paying for a service that they don't like? If I go to the bar and get a poo beer, that's not a brand, if I go to the bar and get a really bad beer, I take it back. I don't sit there drinking going, this is awful. I take it back. Drivers aren't doing that. They're complaining, don't like this, yet they're staying. If you don't like the service you are paying for, stop bloody paying for it. It's common sense, isn't it?
Why do you think they are staying?
Because they don't change, they don't do anything. They don't, we talk to drivers all the time, and you know, we have laughs, jokes about this, that, and the other, but they're scared of the new stuff. They're scared of change just in case. But now, I mean, absolutely drive anywhere. When I first started driving in private hire, since you know, from running offices and things, and then having a big gap, then driving, I never went in the office, never saw anybody. And now, of course, firms are starting to realise people are people, and you know, we've got to start doing the right. But drivers aren't adapting to that change that we as operators are trying to adapt to. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. Do you want us to? No.
Have you finished?
Oh, sorry.
Right, guys, we're running out of time now. We know you've got to get on, and hope you enjoyed breakfast. So obviously we need to get back to PHTM, and we're going to have to sing for our ride home now. So on front of you, you can see some cards with some music there and some songs. So it's a bit motivational, this. We want you to start singing. We're going to be singing, what are we singing? Sweet Carolina? Sweet Carolina. As we say, thank you very much for watching this live edition of Taxi Talk. Thank you for enjoying breakfast, courtesy of Flip.
Jodie.
And thank you for staying with us, and enjoy the rest of your day. So we can go out now singing Sweet Caroline.
You all need to sing as well.
All of you are saying, go on, let's go for this.
Come on.
Where it began, I can't begin to know when. It's going strong. Was it the spring?
Can we have some backing singers as well, please?
Louder.
Believe you'd come along. Hands, touching hands,
Reaching out, touch your cheek,
Go on now.
in you,
Sweet Caroline.
I've never seen so good, so good, so good, so good. I realized,
to believe they never would.
that'll do.
That will drive any other
Well done, everyone.
I think that's, as Rachel Dale would say, that's a cut.
Taxi Talk. Taxi Talk.